All right, I've gone through all the tracks. Just move through the beats. Do your thing.
All right, everyone, let's hear it for West High's own Brooke Turner, a.k.a. DJ Hook.
Scratching at my first school dance takes confidence. So getting into college, I've got what it takes. Okay, I went to the practice sessions. I slept good. I feel good.
We will now begin the test. Please take out your pencils.
I got this.
We're all good at something. Maybe it's breakdancing or skateboarding or video games. Whatever you're good at, you had the skills to make it happen. And those same skills will help us get to college. Visit knowhowtogo.org to learn what you should be doing right now to prepare for college. Start taking the steps at knowhowtogo.org.
I've got what it takes. So do you.
Brought to you by the American Council on Education, Lumina Foundation, and the Ad Council.
Your home for Richmond Spiders athletics all year round. W291CL Lakeside Richmond. WURV HD2 Richmond. We are 1061 ESPN.
Start your morning right with Ironclad Coffee Roasters and Baking Company, the official coffee of Fitz the Bill and ESPN Richmond. They have fresh artisan pastries made from scratch daily in their own in-house bakeries to go along with some of the best coffee in RVA. 3 locations, one in Shockoe Bottom, one in the West End, and one in Lynchburg. Check them out too online at ironcladcoffee.com. Fitz the Bill is powered by Ironclad Coffee Roasters and Baking Company each and every morning.
Richmond, it's time to get your morning going. Spicy Mom.
We are going to wreak havoc.
The only thing I am thinking about is the game.
Holy catfish! Touchdown, Seahawks!
Rashid Shaheed. Richmond Sports Talk by Richmond sports fans. This is Fitz the Bill with Jack Fitzpatrick. All live from the capital of the Commonwealth, where sharp analysis, your cause, and Richmond always come first. If it's making headlines locally or nationally, we're breaking it down. Now, live from the capital of the Commonwealth, Fitz the Bill with your host, Jack Fitzpatrick.
that would follow behind him. And, you know, Jim is often remembered for that incredible 83 NC State championship team and that Cinderella run that coined his phrase, survive and advance. But I really believe this is his best team, the one that he left behind to do this critical work. And we're thrilled for SB's Day and to remind everyone again about what is possible through the collective power of all of us coming together to invest in the power of science.
Well, Brandy, what is possible? When people go to v.org/donate, what should they know about their money and what is possible through the V Foundation?
I think what's most important for everyone to know is that 100% of your donation goes directly to cancer research. So we're very proud of that 100% promise. And, you know, I think it can be very...
All right. Welcome back in. ACC Kickoff, technical difficulties there. But, yeah, just walk me through that. 8 seasons. You're starting down there in Miami as the elder statesman this year 2 with the Hurricanes. Kind of, what's that vibe like?
Well, I'm just being an older, mature guy, you know, just leading the way for the young pups, teaching them things I learned over the years. You know, I learned a lot of tools throughout my career. Yeah, a lot of time I was injured, but I still used that time to, you know, just grab knowledge from all the coaches that was around and that was just coaching me up at the time. So just being able to pour into those younger guys, you feel me, and fill them with the knowledge that I got probably a little later on, just giving it to them earlier so, you know, they can excel earlier in their careers.
And you guys had one of the best defenses in the nation last year. Lost a couple of those guys, but you return a good amount as well, yourself included.
For sure.
What can you guys take from last year's success and put it towards this year?
Honestly, there's nothing you can really take from last year's success because last year was last year. You know, like the 2025 team, that was an amazing team. That was a great team, but that's not the same team. You know, you don't have the same team every single year. People change, people leave, you know, people come in. So just, you know, finding a new way to see what our play style is like with the new people and the new, you know, team we have this year. So
your defensive coordinator, Corey Heatherman, I was a JMU alum, right?
Gotcha.
And he was the DC at JMU for a brief stint. Then he went off and Rutgers, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he had a ton of success, and now he's the crazy guy on the sidelines for you guys at Miami. What is it about his defense that creates so much havoc, I guess?
Well, he plays to his players' style. You know, he let his players play at the end of the day. Like, it's not really so much about scheme with him. Like, yes, he's going to scheme it up. He's an intelligent coach, like, great mind. I pick so much, and I learn so much from him and pick his brain so much and just talk ball with him so much. But, like, he lets his players play. You know, he sees what's our strengths, what's our weaknesses, and he plays to our strengths, and he tries to help us on our weaknesses. So,
what's your strength on the football field?
Just playing football.
That's easy. That's easy with it. Game-winning sack or game-winning interception for yourself?
For myself?
The quarterback drops back. You can either attack and get the game-winning sack, you seal it, or you drop in coverage, he doesn't see you, throws it right to you, game-winning interception that seals it. Which would you prefer to have happen?
Well, interception. Just because,
Really?
you know, you seal the deal right there. Like, you get a sack, so a running back can pick the ball up and, you know, advance the ball. You get an interception, taking the game's over.
That's true. I never thought of it like that. See, I thought as a linebacker, I thought you would have said, you know, attack
the quarterback,
hit the quarterback and do it that way. But
in the game with a W.
Hey,
that's all that matters.
You guys did that a lot last season.
Yes, sir.
And I know you say you can't really use last season too much going into this season, but is there anything that you can pull, like the successes or any of the, honestly, failures you guys had last year to help you going into this
yeah, for sure. And even some of the success, you know, like we have guys that were successful last season that were coming back this season and we're counting on, you feel me, and depending on. But like I tell them all the time, you can't live off of your last year's success, you know, because last year was last year. Like, you have to go do it again. So just, you know, making sure we take it one day at a time, focusing on every single day of the summer. Yeah.
And Mo, you mentioned earlier how you missed 2 full seasons with injury. Was it torn ACLs both times? What did you learn about yourself? Because, I mean, missing 2 full years. I learned
how tough I am, how mentally tough I am, and how I can push through anything that God throws my way. And that's why in life, like, when anytime anything comes up or anything happens, I don't panic. I'm comfortable, I'm calm, and I figure it out.
That's probably why you're one of the top middle linebackers in the ACC, right? You got everything crazy happening in front of you, and you're able to keep things calm. What do you guys plan on doing this year? I know that's a really broad question, and I know the answer is probably win a national championship and go out there and dominate. But for the team, kind of on a micro level, what do you guys want to accomplish?
Win the day.
Win the day?
Win the day. Honestly, like, we don't try to think too far ahead because that's how you trip over yourself and you fall on your face. We just try to take it one day at a time, one step at a time, and attack one thing at a time. Like, right now, I'm only focused on attacking this ACC Media Day, and then tomorrow we attacking practice and workouts and conditioning.
You're back at it tomorrow?
Yes, sir.
Man, he doesn't give you any days off. You're right back from Charlotte tomorrow.
Right back to it. Love it though. Gotta love the ground, man.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. You guys fly down or did you drive?
No, we flew down. Yeah.
Whoa, never
mind. It would have been crazy.
Could you imagine? I wonder if any of this. I'll ask throughout the time down here. What are some of the goals you have for yourself this season?
Just continue being a better leader. You know, just helping my teammates grow, helping the players around me grow. Like, I know myself, I understand myself. You know, I'm a grown man at the end of the day. Like, I understand the game of football, you know, the X's and O's, and it's just bringing the people around me, helping them learn, helping them grow so we can be the best version of ourselves.
And I mentioned earlier, kind of an elder statesman of it all. A couple of the guys you've played with, a couple of the guys you played with last year, but throughout your entire college career have gone on into the NFL. Have you kept in contact with any of them?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I talk to all my dogs. Like, that's one thing I say. Like, throughout my college career, God has blessed me with the opportunity to meet so many amazing players, you know, that I've created bonds and relationships with that I know that'll last me a lifetime, because I still talk to a lot of them boys from today. From my freshman year, I still talk to some of them boys.
Last question here before we let you go, because we were up at the NFL Combine and Ruben Bain made some noise with his lack of a haircut prior to it. Is that just who he is? Is he that type of guy?
That's Bain, bro. He don't care. He just love football. He just love football.
Mo, I love it. Appreciate your time. Have fun the rest of the ACC kickoff. Don't want to keep you too much time and throw off the rest of the schedule, but appreciate it. Good luck this season. We look forward to seeing you ball out.
Sir, appreciate y'all. Go Canes, baby. Go Canes.
I love it. We're going to get a quick break in here to kick things off. We'll be back with more Fitz the Bill.
You're tuned into Fitz the Bill. Back in a moment.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $3 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-746-0155. That's 800-746-0155. 800-746-0155.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Looking for the perfect golf course? Check out RVA's best kept secret, Queenfield Golf Club, just a few minutes past Mechanicsville. Reserve your tee time today at queenfieldgolf.com.
This is advertising material. You know how some people say, I got a guy for that. Well, Alexander Shinar Trial Attorneys, they got all the guys. Medical bills piling up, they got a guy. Insurance company playing games, they got a guy. Police report missing crucial details. Yeah, they got a guy for that too. Here's the thing about getting injured in an accident. Your job is not to become a legal expert overnight. Your job is to heal. That's why Alexander Shinar Trial Attorneys built a team to handle everything else. Investigators who reconstruct what really happened. Medical experts who document your injuries. And negotiators who speak insurance company fluently and don't back down. They deal with the endless paperwork, the runaround phone calls, the corporate lawyers trying to lowball you into settling for pennies. You focus on getting better. They focus on getting you paid. Here's the best part. They don't get paid unless you do. No upfront cost, no risk to you. One call gets you the whole team. 877-222-6666 or visit alexwins.law.
Past results do not guarantee future outcomes. Every case is different. Philip George's licensed attorney in Virginia is responsible for legal work. Office located at 500 East Main Street, Suite 1600-113, Norfolk, Virginia 23510. This is advertising material.
1061 ESPN on-air interviews presented by the Herman Allen Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Hotline with Lennox products that make the air in your home absolutely perfect.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu. My Computer Career, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
1061 ESPN traffic.
Ashcake Road is blocked off due to an accident between Lewistown Road and Sliding Hill Road. The left lane is also closed due to a wreck heading south on 95 at Lewistown Road, causing heavy traffic from Ashland, Hanover. And we're also seeing some backup heading north on Powhite Parkway between Midlothian Turnpike and Chippenham Parkway.
Local voices, local takes. Richmond's only local morning sports talk show. Fitz the Bill. Back on 1061 ESPN Richmond.
I reminisce for a spell, or shall I say, think back.
Welcome back in here to Charlotte, North Carolina, ACC Kickoff. I'm Jack Fitzpatrick down here in the true Queen City. We've got Alan back in our home studios here. Appreciate you clocking in, making us part of your morning here on this Wednesday. 1061 ESPN Richmond, ESPN Richmond app, ESPNRichmond.com. Streaming live on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. If you want to watch the stream, if you want to watch all of our interviews, just type in ESPN Richmond. We'll pop right on up. You can watch the stream live. You can also watch archived versions of the show under the live tab on the ESPN Richmond YouTube page. So if you miss any of the interviews, you can go back over there and you can watch them live. We just had Mo Toure, Miami linebacker, join us to kick things off down here at ACC Kickoff. We've got Dave Doran. He's joining us, the NC State head coach, at around 9:20. We've also got Wes Durham from the ACC Network joining us at 9:40 to kind of wrap up the show, put a little bow on it. Excited for that fun hour number 2. Tomorrow, we've got Anthony Polano from Boston College, Mason McKenzie from Boston College, Bill O'Brien from Boston College, Brian White, the new Virginia Tech athletic director, Olson Pat Henry from Clemson. So much coming down the pipe here in Charlotte, North Carolina for ACC Kickoff. Alan, good morning. How are we doing on this Wednesday? Glad to have you up there, making sure that everything is running smoothly because we've got a lot cooking down here in Charlotte.
I'm doing well and trying to get used to the idea that you're not physically here, which for the folks who don't know, makes it for a weird dynamic when you're trying to produce.
Yeah, we're just talking to no one, aren't we? You're talking to an empty room, and yet my voice is still coming through somehow, some way.
Yeah.
That's how it is. But, man, I'm ready to run through a brick wall after talking with Mo Toure. That was he gave me, look.
Forget Miami. No, I'm joking.
He gave me the coach speak, but.
Yeah, their intensity matches the coach. It's awesome.
1,000%. Last year, he had 84 tackles, most on Miami's defense, 2 sacks. I asked him that question about sack versus interception because he didn't record an interception last year, but that was a great answer where he's like, an interception makes sure my team can win it. A sack leaves something to be desired. And I was like, you know what? I did not think of that whatsoever, Mo. And he hit the nail on the head.
Yeah, absolutely. Like if I'm going to make a play, I want it to end the game. I don't want anything left behind it. So I love that. I like to fancy myself as a middle linebacker mentally as well. So that was a great answer.
Yeah, you mix between offensive line, defensive line, and linebacker.
I actually hate offensive line when I was growing up playing. I did not like to block. So it's funny that I only pay attention to the offensive line pretty much now.
As a big boy my entire life, I was forced to be a guard when I was playing Pee Wee football. So I had no choice but to block.
Yeah.
But you know what the good thing about being a guard was? You never really in Pee Wee football, you didn't have to learn a playbook because you know what the responsibility of the guard was? Block the guy in front of you no matter what.
Yes, it was a simple job then.
So I loved it. Everyone's stressing about learning the playbook. I was like, I'm good. I know my playbook no matter what we do.
I had wing T, so I had to know a little bit.
Oh yeah, you did. And
then we transitioned. We transitioned to an option offense. So I really had to know that.
Yeah, definitely. We've got some exciting news on this Wednesday morning. Before we get too far along in Fitz the Bill, one, we want to shout out our friends Graybows over there in Scott's Edition. If you look over on our Instagram, we've got a little video explaining what we've got coming. But we've got these Bowman Chrome U cards. I didn't do it with Mo, but we'll do it throughout this entire week. We got Bowman Chrome U cards. If you're watching the stream, you can see it. They're football trading cards, but with college kids. So with NIL and everything, they're able to open up Pandora's box and create football trading cards for college football players. So we'll be opening up some of these packs thanks to our friends down there at Graybows in Scott's Edition. We'll be opening up some of those packs with some of the players, some of the media members that will be joining us. Plus, I've got a full bag of single cards, like jersey cards, numbered cards, autographed cards, and they all have something to do with each coach that we're talking to. So, for example, Bill O'Brien, I may give him a Tom Brady card, and we might talk about Tom Brady. For Tony Elliott, we may bring up a random running back that he coached at Clemson, and we may talk about that and how he can use those experiences for UVA. It's going to be an absolute blast. It's a fun segment we're going to do throughout this week down here in Charlotte, thanks to our friends over at Graybows and Scott's Edition. Plus, they've got Parlay Bar and Lounge right next door. Highly recommend you go over to Scott's Edition right there on Lee Street and give Graybows a try, give Parlay a try. You are going to love it. Parlay, they've got the Parlaytron, which is just a massive, massive TV they've got out in their parking lot. So really appreciate them for being one of our sponsors here for ACC Kickoff. And I buried the lead a little bit, Alan, because you know what we're giving away today? You got to download the ESPN Richmond app. You download the ESPN Richmond app, and drum roll, please. Right? you like the drum roll? That was pretty good. That was a really good drum roll.
Awful.
we're giving away Morgan Wallen tickets. He is coming to M&T Bank Stadium this Friday, 5:30 p.m. M&T Bank Stadium, the home of the Baltimore Ravens, up there in Bmore. Friday, 5:30. This Friday, just a couple of days away, we've got tickets to see Morgan Wallen, and you can enter in to win those tickets right now if you head on over to the ESPN Richmond app. The contest is only open for the next day or so, so you've got to get in. You've got to enter in to win for some Morgan Wallen tickets. The concert is Friday, this Friday, 5:30 p.m. Gates open, M&T Bank Stadium up there in Baltimore. Just a short trek up 95, and you can see one of the hottest acts in country music right now, Morgan Wallen tickets. Go on over to the ESPN Richmond app, enter in to win. I think those are the best tickets we've ever given away, if I'm being brutally honest. Those are some
10,000% sure those are the best tickets we've ever given away.
Back. I was like, whoa. Maybe Chris Stapleton. Did we give away Chris? No, I think
we did not give away Chris Stapleton tickets. So
I might find my way to Allianz though and still see Chris Stapleton. But head on over to the app. You've got to enter in through the app, and it's really easy to find the app. It's on the Google Play Store. It's on the Apple App Store. Just type in ESPN Richmond. We'll pop up, and you can enter in to win. And I think that's all the housekeeping stuff we've got to get out of the way here to kick off this Wednesday edition live from ACC Kickoff. And Alan, I think we might need a counter. Maybe it's the Twitch stream little boop every time I accidentally say kickoff when not referring to ACC Kickoff, because I think I'm already up to like 4 or 5. It's a problem. That word gets into my brain and I can't get it out of my brain. But regardless, we're down here in Charlotte. Feel free, call, text in throughout today's show, 804-327-0888, the Radkey Insurance phone line. Radkeyinsurance.com to get started on your free quote today. You know where I want to start today's show? I want to start over there in the World Cup, because the World Cup yesterday, I was driving and I was having Matt occasionally update me on the scores, Alan. And when he told me the final scoreline was 2-0 in favor of Spain down France, I let out a sad little whimper. I've got to pick a new team. I went from the U.S. men's national team. I then staked my claim in France, and they just played a pretty tough game. I mean, and tough, I mean like bad, right? Like they did not look that good. Mbappe, after the match, questioned his manager, Didier Deschamps. He questioned his approach, his tactics, because it was kind of an interesting loss, right? You were not able to muster a goal. This is one of the best attacks. Mbappe, who's been one of the best strikers in the world for the last handful of years, could not find the back of the net. And France's quest to reach a third straight World Cup final falls one game short. And now Messi seems to be poised to win the Golden Boot. All he's got to do really is score one more, and he is good to go, is what I would predict. But man, that was a tough game yesterday.
Spain's going to be a hard out, man. That defense,
I think they're going to win.
that defense has only allowed one goal this entire time, and they went up against a team that we joked about had two guys scoring a total of 13 goals between the two of them, and they held them to 0. So I think Spain's figured it out, man. And it's not just Yamal, but like, again, we talked about him being the catalyst and stuff, but everybody's so much more comfortable when they have a guy out there that can kind of dictate the pace and stuff. And it's just people making plays. They seem to be the most cohesive team left in the World Cup.
They don't play a like crazy brand of soccer, of football, right? Like you don't have the Mbappe just scoring crazy goal after crazy goal. You don't have what the magic of Messi and the magic of Argentina. You don't have that in Spain. What do you have? You've got a team that plays team soccer. Like they are just a clinical team. I'm trying to think of what the analogy would be when it comes to like the football world. Like they are just a team that does things right. They are a triple option team that's just going to make sure that they do everything correctly. Like that's kind of what they feel like. They're just going to execute the heck out of you. This might be a really deep poll, but it's like the Armstrong-Pocosin game in the playoffs last year. Armstrong had the flashier players. They had the better offense, but Pocosin was just going to run their triple option down your throat, and they were going to execute it extremely well. Who would have thought I'd be quoting a Pocosin game in VHSL playoffs when comparing it to the World Cup? But here we are.
Hey, I just want to bring up the fact you kind of low-key insulted Pocosin too last year about their basicness.
It was basic.
Yeah, but
what can I say?
Look,
I mean, little did I know they had like a 4 or 5 star on their offensive line.
A fundamental approach in any sport typically wins, man. If it's like solid, right? Like, I hate to bring up Tim Duncan, Mr. Fundamental.
Yeah.
But like it's the consistency of doing the little things right that makes you ultimately a champion in most cases. So Spain's doing the little things right. And I don't mind Mbappe questioning his manager and their approach, because that did not look like the France that we've been seeing all World Cup. But he's also got to take some ownership on that. The players also have to take some ownership on that as well, because they too didn't look like they wanted to do the things that were necessary to win. They didn't want to make the sacrifices or take the chances per se to score goals. And so Spain kind of capitalized off that. Spain seemed more comfortable. Spain seemed like the team on the front foot. And, France just ran into a good team, man.
After the match, Mbappe said, "We were 3 against 2 in midfield, and against Spain, that's hard."
Yes.
He then went on to say, "Fabian Ruiz and Rodri had plenty of time to play. There was a lack of communication on the press. I think we should have done man-to-man press and forced them to run with us." You might be right, but you're right as well. Like that is correct, but also I don't think they executed as well as they probably should have. They probably could have. I'll be honest, didn't watch the game in full because, of course, driving down here to Charlotte. But I watched some of the highlights, and it just looked like France just didn't execute the way that they had been these last few games.
Yeah, it played out exactly how we were talking about yesterday, right?
Yeah.
For Spain to win, they had to keep possession and control the pace, right? For France to win, they had to run, and they just didn't run.
And they didn't.
Yeah,
They
so
didn't.
if you're gonna play a slower team's game, more than likely it comes down to efficiency when we see that. And if you're not more efficient than the slow-paced team, if you're not able to out Iowa, you're going to lose, right? In basketball, right? We talked about how Iowa's a slow-paced team in basketball, but they're super efficient. They didn't leave anything to waste.
Oh, they were so fun
Yeah,
to watch. They're going to use all of their shot clock. And
I'm telling you, man. And so it's one of those things where, like, if you're going to venture into that realm, you have to know what makes this team tick, and then you have to figure out whether or not you can do that better. 9 times out of 10, you can't. 9 times out of 10, if you're the front foot team, play on the front foot.
Yeah, don't change your strategy. And now we turn our attention, though, to England, Argentina in Atlanta, 3 p.m. kickoff today. England is the slight favorite at plus 175, but Argentina, they've got that magic on their side. I'm going to be really intrigued to see how England's legs hold up, because there's been a betting trend. I don't know if you've looked into this at all, Alan, but there's a betting trend where teams who are coming out of Miami, so the game after they play in Miami, which is where England played against Norway, where temperatures were around 100, or feels like temperatures were around 100 degrees, high humidity. The game after they play in Miami, they typically either lose or underperform based off of the betting expectations. And that can't happen because it's win or go home. Duh. I'm not breaking any news when I say that. But they're going to have a handful against an Argentinian squad who, kind of funnily enough, also has tired legs after playing extra time in 2 of their 3 knockout stage matches. It's going to be a game that I think whoever can dominate possession, and this might sound really simplistic, but dominate possession and dominate the tempo of the game and play their tempo is going to win.
Well, I'll tell you right now, Argentina's a Big 12 version of a soccer team. They got zero defense, man. Like they can be had for sure. They are going to be like the Baylor of old, some stints of Oklahoma with Lincoln Riley. Like, they're going to give you points, they're going to give you goals, but they're not going to stop you, right? So if you're looking at a match where we've got 6 goals between the 2 teams, I think that favors England. I think England's going to score more. If we get a match where it's 3 goals or less, I think that might favor Argentina.
If I'm England, I'm trying to get out on the front foot in a hurry, expend my energy when I'm the most hype, score a goal, and then try to just kind of not park the bus per se, but then force Argentina to expend its energy to try and find the equalizer.
Well, yeah, you got to make Argentina work, but you also have to keep in mind that they did score 3 goals in like 15 minutes. So I don't think
that's so true. That's so true. Hey, what did I say? what did I say? The Argentinian Pope who passed away, unfortunately, a year or two ago, whatever it was, that made them have to go and get Pope Leo, who brought his Pope magic to the Chicago Bears. I think the former Argentinian Pope, Pope Francis, is smiling down on Argentina right now from heaven. That's the only explanation I have for what they've been doing.
Yeah,
explanation.
When you do something like that, man, like confidence has to be sky high no matter what the situation. Like 3 goals in less than 20 minutes. Like,
oh my goodness.
Whatever you throw at me, I can handle it.
All right, so who do you got, England or Argentina?
I'm going to go with England.
I'm going to go Argentina just because I don't want to bet against the Pope. I think it's as simple as that. So in your mind, it's going to be Spain, England. Who do you have winning?
I got Spain winning.
I've got Spain winning it all, too. After what they did to France, I just don't think team soccer can be overcome this year. And plus, they've got Yamal. Alan, I'm shocked you didn't say Yamal this morning.
No, it's fine because I got to give the defense credit. 1 goal.
Hey, that's the truth.
All World Cup is something like to brag about. So I know we don't talk about defense in sports enough, but like, this is a crazy run by that particular unit.
Truly. All right, let's get a quick break in. Step aside. We've got news or snooze, but with me being down in Charlotte, Alan up in I almost said the Queen City, up in the capital of the Commonwealth, right? I'm going to tell you the headlines, and you're going to tell me if they're newsworthy or snoozeworthy. A little switch up on this Wednesday as we are coming to you live from ACC Kickoff. Thanks in large part to our friends over at Graybo's. Keep it locked right here on 106.1 ESPN Richmond. Fitz the Bill, ESPN RVA on Instagram, because we've got these Bowman Chrome U cards. We're going to rip some wax with some of the players, with some of the media members that come on by. Plus, we've got a special segment for coaches throughout. We've got some of the former players that they've coached. We've got some of their NFL cards, some of their specialty cards, thanks to our friends at Graybo's. And it's just going to be a really fun time down here in ACC Kickoff. But we want to say thanks to our friends at Graybo's. They are providing all of this stuff for us to rip some wax with the players, with the coaches, with the media members. And we cannot be more excited that they're on board helping us bring you all of this great ACC Kickoff coverage.
You're with Fitz the Bill on 106.1 ESPN Richmond this morning. Short break coming up.
Are you suffering from a sports injury, chronic pain, or something that just plain hurts? Ortho Virginia can help get you on the road to recovery. As the state's largest provider of orthopedic care, Ortho Virginia's team of specialists offers surgical and non-surgical treatment options. With 12 offices conveniently located in the Richmond area, visit orthovirginia.com or call 804-915-1910 to discover why at Ortho Virginia, stronger starts here.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $3 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Tune in to the Henrico Huddle with Dennis Bickmeyer the last Wednesday of each month, afternoons on 106.1 ESPN, or updates online at henricosea.com. 106.1 ESPN on-air interviews presented by the Herman Allen Plumbing Heating and Cooling Hotline with Lennox products that make the air in your home absolutely perfect.
I can't believe how spotless my floors look after using the Swiffer Power Mop. No more dragging around a heavy mop and messy bucket. Now I get the same deep clean without all the work. Thanks to the powerful solution and scrubbing pad of the Swiffer Power Mop, dirt and grime don't stand a chance, and I don't break a sweat. Mic drop. Mop drop.
Swiffer Power Mop. Swiffer Power Mop.
A smarter way to mop. Try it or your money back.
Having insurance isn't the same as having State Farm. It's like needing a lawyer, but getting some guy who just watches courtroom dramas.
How does the defendant plead?
Guilty. Wait, what? Also, objection.
You object to what?
Erroneous.
Counsel, approach the bench.
Hey, can I get a whack at the gavel?
You wouldn't settle for just any lawyer, so don't settle for just any insurance. Get the real deal with State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
Shaq got there and won. Wade obviously has been there a million times. LeBron got there and won twice, got there 4 times. Bosh got there and won twice, got there 4 times. Jimmy Butler got there twice. Giannis needs to get there. He needs to get there now. I understand that everyone's looking at next year and beyond. Cool. Get there now. That's the expectation. You better win, and you better win now.
Unsportsmanlike. Weekday mornings starting at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN2.
106.1 ESPN weather.
We have a hot and hazy day ahead of us with highs reaching 98 degrees later this afternoon and lows tonight dropping down to 72. Temperatures will be increasing throughout the week with a high tomorrow of 100.
Mornings in Richmond start here. Fits the bill. Back now on 106.1 ESPN Richmond. News.
Extra, extra, read all about it.
Or snooze.
All right, news or snooze on this Wednesday morning. Alan, are you ready for this first one? I think you're going to love this first one.
Ready to hit the snooze button, baby.
I do know what you don't even know what it is.
I don't need to know.
Now, this is a big one. Sources. Maxey-led 76ers trio has talked to LeBron.
It's definitely snoozeworthy, man. Like,
Yeah.
Of course, they've talked to LeBron.
Yeah,
Everybody's talking to LeBron. Everybody's pitching. Give us a team that hasn't been named in this, right? Like, we expect the 76ers, the Warriors, the Heat, the Cavs.
The Wizards haven't been named in this.
No, the Wizards haven't been named. And I did hear something very interesting this morning on Unsportsmanlike on the way in, where Anthony Davis is due for contract extension. Maybe they use him as leverage to be like, look, either you give him this extension or LeBron will take him, basically, is what they were kind of saying. Like, if you don't want to pay him, then he'll just go join LeBron.
I mean, that is interesting. So I guess the Wizards have been mentioned. What do you know?
Yeah,
what do you know?
It was out in left field, but it was something I thought was interesting. It was a different perspective.
So sources have told Shams Charania that the Sixers remain one of the top potential destinations. Shams is reporting that it's between the Sixers, the Heat, and the Cleveland Cavaliers. And I just have one question out of that. The Heat? The Heat? I don't understand how Miami's still even a part of this. I don't get it. But for the Sixers, Maxey, who is also a Clutch Sports client and has trained with LeBron James and has described James as a, quote, big brother, he led the group of Embiid, Brown, and Maxey in communication with LeBron. So it's going to be fascinating to see how it plays out because apologies for the pun here, but it appears that the Sixers have put essentially a full court press on landing LeBron James because Bob Myers, if you remember correctly, just about a week ago, he went on Rich Paul's Game Over podcast with Max Kellerman and essentially pitched to Rich Paul live on the podcast for LeBron to come play in Philadelphia. Plus, the president of basketball ops, Mike Gansey, former Cavs exec, who competed against James in high school, has said that they've had conversations with Rich Paul since the Jalen trade. And as we all know, those conversations are very one-sided because it is just a voice memo that they are sending to Rich Paul, who then plays the voice memo for LeBron. I
love a good voice memo. You can record it and use it for your documentary later.
Hey, I guess so. I guess he's just doing his own Last Dance-esque thing. I guess.
Always got to upstage some kind of way.
All right, you ready for the next one?
Let's go.
Adam Silver, Kawhi probe must end before season starts.
That's actually newsworthy. Holding this situation hostage per se. Also newsworthy because if you're the Raptors, I think I want to revisit this trade. Hey, you know that pick I gave you? I want that pick back.
Hey, the trade has not been executed. Yeah. If I'm the Raptors, I'm pulling a Ravens. Hey, he failed his physical. I don't know. You know, going back real quick to the Sixers, with the Celtics side of that trade, why didn't Brad Stevens just say, you know, I think Paul George failed his physical. They should have pulled a Ravens and they could have gotten out of the whole thing.
No, I mean, it's clear the Raptors want Paul George.
Yes,
I mean, not
really
Paul George, sorry, Kawhi Leonard. And it's clear that Kawhi Leonard wants to be there as well. But, I mean, the leverage is on the Raptors side, if you ask me, because this is a hot mess, and it's not a hot mess that they signed up for. And if the league got involved, and if there's going to be penalties, and if for some reason Kawhi gets suspended for real, man, I'm definitely looking at them sideways. I want my picks back.
The whole thing is just so weird. Adam Silver said yesterday that he remains hopeful that the NBA's investigation into Kawhi Leonard and the Clippers for alleged salary cap circumvention will conclude this summer. He then stated that the league was not responsible for holding up the reported Leonard to Toronto trade. And then Silver went on to say that the investigation needs to be wrapped up before the beginning of next season, saying it's going on longer than I would have hoped. You don't think? You don't think that this has gone on longer than you should have had this wrapped up by the time the offseason, quote unquote, began at the start of July. Like, there should have never been a need to throw a wrench in this entire trade. There should have not been anything there, because you should have had it already laid out what the punishment was going to be. Because guess what? This could be as nothing as Kawhi getting a slap on the wrist and a 10-game suspension. It could literally be no punishment against Kawhi whatsoever. That's one side of this. The other side of this could be that his entire contract is voided and he's suspended for a year. And if his contract is voided, you can no longer trade for Kawhi because you are trading for his contract, which means this trade is nothing. And the reason the Raptors are not going through with this trade right now, and why they've walked back their happiness essentially when it comes to this Kawhi trade, is because they would take on any responsibility that comes from a Kawhi punishment, right? So what does that mean? It means if they traded for him, they sent the picks, things get finalized, then Kawhi's contract is voided. Guess what? Toronto's on the hook for that. They don't get Brandon Ingram back, Grady Dick back, their picks back. No, they would lose those players, and they would lose Kawhi and have to re-sign him, which would just be an absolute headache. I don't know if you can tell in my voice, Alan, but this whole probe, this whole situation makes my blood boil. I do not understand how you could fail this badly as a commissioner. This is one of the worst failures on a commissioner in all professional sports.
Adam Silver and the WNBA commissioner are kind of neck and neck with just fumbling things lately. I don't get it, man. Like, that's part of your job. That's one thing I will never question Goodell on when it comes to like imposing himself and making sure order is restored in some kind of fashion. You know, Roger Goodell and the NFL as a league is going to handle situations like this. Whether we like what they do or not is a different subject, but they will make sure that there's some form of order, or at least we have some kind of understanding of where they are in the process, and they get things done pretty quickly.
And this might be a bad thing because Kawhi didn't do anything heinous off the court, right? It's just alleged cap circumvention, which is pretty important, but it's not like, it's not Deshaun Watson. It's not some of the stuff that is the NFL has had to deal with. But guess what? Deshaun Watson quickly got his punishment. We all didn't agree with it. The NFL stood by it, and Deshaun Watson was back, and they figured it out, and they moved on. I'm not saying that punishment was correct. I wholeheartedly disagree with what that punishment was. I don't think Deshaun Watson probably should have ever played again, and I'm saying that in enemy territory here around Clemson people.
Oh, we don't care.
But like, you're right. But like, what I'm saying is they made that decision quickly. They made it swiftly, and they figured things out and they moved on from it. This was opened at the start of the NBA season, and here we are on July 15th, and we still have no resolution to it. And now it's holding up moves, and like this could have a cascading effect across the NBA because Kawhi could have a contract voided. Where does he end up? Because no team really has the salary cap necessary to take him on. I mean, it's just a head-scratching decision from top to bottom, left to right, up, down, whatever you want to say. Head-scratching in totality.
It's also kind of funny, too, if we could sidetrack real quick. This started because the Raptors said they would not do what the Clippers ended up doing with moving the money around and being shady. Like, the Raptors themselves were like, nah, we're not going to do that. You can go somewhere else. And he ends up in LA, full circle. He's back with Toronto. And the one thing they denied him is now holding up the process. It's hilarious.
You know, can I put on my conspiracy theory hat on all of this?
What's up?
It feels like almost that this is the Clippers saying sorry to Toronto, or I should say sorry. You like my Canadian accent?
Yeah.
That was awful. They're saying sorry to Toronto, and like, it feels like this was some like weird handshake agreement behind closed doors. Like Toronto missed out on Kawhi because the Clippers were willing to do this cap circumvention. And like the Clippers went to Toronto, did a handshake agreement to say, please don't tattle on us. If you don't tattle on us, we'll give him back to you at the tail end of his contract so that he can finish out his career with you guys. That's my conspiracy.
We'll call it a boomerang trade. That's what it is.
It feels like there's something nefarious going on.
What's the third one?
Holland left the U.S. with 7 World Cup goals and a taxidermy raccoon.
I gotta go snooze-worthy. Sorry.
Oh man, his shopping spree was crazy though. Apparently he went to Wild Bill's Western store in Dallas. He went from department to department, boots, hats, belts, buckles, t-shirts, Western shirts. He had himself a time down there in the Big D, where he ended up buying a taxidermy raccoon holding a whiskey bottle dubbed the Whiskey Raccoon for $750, plus 2 taxidermy squirrels dressed up in a sheriff outfit, with one drinking a Budweiser for $450 each. That, of course, then went viral, and the store co-owner says that the taxidermy pieces, which were for sale, were more so of a photo op novelty item rather than things that they actually sold. But guess what? They've now sold out completely, and those things are on back order. If you're a raccoon in the state of Texas, run. Find a place to hide. They're coming for you.
What a world, man. What a world, man. Look, Holland, I could have got that done for $30 in the court, man, with one of my cousins. You didn't have to pay $750 for it.
Hey, you give me sweet tickets to a Man City game, I'm doing that for you. I don't know how to taxidermy, but I'm going to figure out how to taxidermy.
We got plenty of people that can do all that stuff, man. That's funny. Raccoons, squirrels, whatever you need, man.
But he ended up scoring 7 goals in 5 matches. He was one of the biggest stars of the tournament. He took America's heart, and he said it's kind of hilarious that fans loved him so much, but he really appreciated all the attention he got throughout the entire World Cup. But just hilarious.
He was definitely basking in it, and it's cool.
I love it.
I saw a couple clips of him doing like cool things with the kids and stuff like that as well. So definitely a great ambassador for the sport and the event.
Truly. All right, let's get a quick break in. Step aside. We'll be back to wrap up this first hour of Fitz the Bill. But before we go to break, we want to let you guys know that right now over on our app, the ESPN Richmond app, which you can find in the Apple App Store and Google Play Store. We always talk about it. You can stream the shows there from wherever you are in the country or in the world. You can listen to our programming through the ESPN Richmond app. But there's another positive of the ESPN Richmond app, and there are contests over there. And the contest we are currently running are for Morgan Wallen tickets for his concert this Friday in Baltimore at M&T Bank Stadium. That's right. We are giving away Morgan Wallen tickets to his concert on Friday. The tickets are valid for Friday only. Gates open around 5:30 up there in Baltimore. One of the hottest stars in country music, Morgan Wallen. Head on over to our app, ESPN Richmond app. Just type that in the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store, and you'll see a big old Morgan Wallen contest thing on the front page of the app. You click into it, you enter it, you give us name, all of the information. We'll pick a winner. I think it's tomorrow later on in the day we pick a winner. The contest is open until tomorrow at noon, but I recommend you enter in right now so you don't forget about it, and you can win Morgan Wallen tickets for his concert this Friday, 5:30 p.m. at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore. ESPN Richmond app. Go check it out. Apple App Store, Google Play Store.
You're listening to Fitz the Bill. Don't touch that dial.
Catch every international soccer match at Star Hill Beer Hall and Rooftop in Scott's Edition. Watch the game on the big screens in the beer hall or on the rooftop, and enjoy Star Hill's shareable bites like the hummus platter and jumbo soft pretzel, plus refreshing drinks like wine, handcrafted cocktails, and award-winning craft beer. Located at 3406 West Lee Street in Scott's Edition. Don't miss a minute of soccer action. Kick it with Star Hill Beer Hall and Rooftop all tournament long.
This is advertising material.
Businesses have a responsibility to keep you safe. Patch the pothole, fix the broken step, light the parking lot, mop the floor, and put up a sign. When they skip those basics and someone gets hurt, that's negligence. If you slipped, tripped, or fell on someone else's property, Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys want to hear from you. Call 877-222-6666 or visit alexwins.law for your free case evaluation. alexwins.law.
This is advertising material. Past results do not guarantee future outcomes. Every case is different. Philip George is licensed attorney in Virginia, is responsible for legal work. Office is located in Norfolk.
Summertime in RVA means one thing. Golf season is here. If you're looking for the perfect golf course, head over to Queenfield Golf Club, located just a few minutes east of Mechanicsville. Queenfield offers a beautifully secluded 18-hole course, spacious driving range, and professionally maintained practice greens and bunkers. Schedule your tee time today by calling 804-769-8838 or reserve a spot online at queenfieldgolf.com and make Queenfield Golf Club your new favorite course.
Attention, all men of Central Virginia. Join us at the 5th Annual Men's Health Forum this Saturday at the Delta House Hotel, 555 Canal Street, starting at 10:30 a.m. Great discussions, vendors, resources, and a raffle with prizes. If you're a man or know a man, encourage him to attend the 5th Annual Men's Health Forum this Saturday at the Delta House Hotel, 555 Canal Street, starting at 10:30 a.m. Sponsored by the Capital Area Health Network.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $3 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Richmond's Morning Sports Talk.
Live, local,
And back on 106.1 ESPN Richmond.
Fits the bill.
Powered by Ironclad Coffee and Baking Company.
Welcome back in. Fits the bill here on this Wednesday morning as we are live from Charlotte, North Carolina for ACC Kickoff. I'm Jack Fitzpatrick down here in the Queen City. Alan up there in the capital of the Commonwealth, holding things down on the buttons, making sure that everything works. We are down here thanks in large part to our friends over at Graybo's. We've got these Bowman Chrome U trading cards. They're like NFL trading cards, of course, but they're for college players. You can find this, so much more over there at Graybo's in Scott's Addition, right there on Lee Street. They're right next door to Parlay Bar and Lounge, but they are a big reason why we are down here, and we're doing this fun segment with some of the people that come on by Fits the Bill, whether it's live on the show, whether it's our pre-recorded segments that we have with everyone throughout the day. We're going to be opening some packs, ripping some wax with some players, with some coaches, with some media members, talking about the season through the eyes of trading cards. We don't know where it's going to take us, but we'll let the trading cards take us wherever it may. We've also got a bunch of cards, thanks to our friends at Graybo's over there in Scott's Addition, that we'll be handing out to coaches. Like, for example, right, Bill O'Brien, who'd he coach? Well, he coached Tom Brady, so we may give him a Tom Brady card. We'll have James Franklin by. We may give him a Tyler Warren card, 804 own, Atlee's own Tyler Warren, and we may talk about what he was able to bring to Penn State and how he's able to use some of those traits and some of those things that he has, and if that impacts the way that he recruits. I don't know. There's so many ways we can take it, but it's a thanks in large part to our friends at Graybo's on Lee Street in Scott's Addition, right next door to Parlay Bar and Lounge. Coming up in hour number 2, we've got Dave Doran, the NC State head coach, at about 9:20. Wes Durham from the ACC Network joining us at 9:40 to put a little bow on today's show. At 9 a.m., we've got the Commissioners Forum. I won't be able to be in there making it, but I'm going to be following along with all of the updates live on Twitter as that's happening. Because guess what, Alan? I think we're going to get a lot of information coming out of that Commissioners Forum. The biggest piece of information I expect Jim Phillips to talk about just about 100 feet away from me in about 8 minutes. The tiebreaker scenario.
It's funny, because you guys do football, I do the basketball.
Yeah.
Which one day we need to flip that.
I don't know, man. It's pretty fun down here for football.
Football is definitely a different vibe.
You can come down here. We got ability to work remote. You can come down here, sit next to me, and you can just hit the buttons on your computer. Now, we would have to pray to the Argentinian Pope that no buttons get pushed in the studio for 3 days. But hey, I have faith.
Jim Phillips, when he does the basketball media day, will typically drop football tidbits in October about changes. So I'm curious to see what he says, for the football one, if there's some basketball stuff in there as well. Because we talked about a little bit the other day, like as a brand, the ACC's got to figure out what they want to do and which of the rising tides will lift the boats. Is it going to be basketball programs or is it going to be football programs? Because as we talked about with the SEC, they didn't go all in on basketball. They went all in on football, and basketball just came along, right? So, is the ACC trying to position themselves to do the same thing? Go all in on football and get a bump to the basketball programs.
That's a great point, because I think based off of what we've seen, it's go all in on football, right? Like that has been the blueprint for so many conferences across the country. Go all in on football. And does that start with completely revitalizing your tiebreaker system for your football programs? Because last year with UVA and Duke, I think that is going to be the point of conversation with Jim Phillips et al. Throughout this entire week.
Yeah, and he's been a pretty transparent commissioner, and from what I've gathered at the basketball press conferences, he's been cool. He's been approachable.
Yeah, I mean, I walked in with him this morning.
Yeah, I was going to say, he'll talk to you if you're right beside him.
We were chatting. Jim Phillips and I were chatting things up as I was walking in. I meant to, then he took a hard right. I took a hard left, and I was going to ask him if he wanted to come on the show later. But I'm going to try and get Jim Phillips on the show later. I don't know how much availability he does, but we'll try to get him on. We'll see if he'll break any news with us. But no, he's super personal.
And I'll ask him if he remembers me still in his seat at the
I can't believe you did that. I can't believe you stole his seat.
I can't believe I did that either. But
that is honestly. That sounds like you.
Yeah,
hey, it's a great seat.
Yeah,
why isn't anyone sitting here?
What an awkward way to meet the commissioner of the ACC is. I'm not paying attention. I'm just looking for a good view, and I'm like, well, this is perfect.
Yeah, wow, this is the best view here. Why is no one here?
It's so good. It's for the commissioner.
Yeah,
he should get a signature seat, man. It should be
which
a different.
Game was that?
It was the Miami. Who did they play? It was the first round game, but it was Miami playing somebody in their first round matchup. But his seat should look different. It should be cushioned or something. It shouldn't be a regular chair like everybody else, because we're not going to pay attention to that. But if you had a plush seat, if you had a lazy boy or something like that, we've all got standard folding chairs, then I definitely wouldn't sit in the special chair.
Yeah, that's a great point. We have nice cushion chairs down here right now. I mean, we are right here in not the ballroom, but I guess the foyer. I don't know what you'd call this of the Hilton, and we've got nice cushy seats down here. And man, we've got so much coming up too. We're joined. Tony Elliott's going to join us while we're off air, so we're going to record that. We'll show that later on today. I imagine Matt will put that on his mid-major Matt show.
We've already got a comment. Verona who's?
I told Matt, I was like, you've got to ask him about why he just lives at Verona. I was like, that has to be out of all the high schools. First question.
Yeah.
Verona, why? You got Bull, you got D1, you've got they just had 2 more commit to UVA in their senior class. I'm like, brother, we got to know it was.
Ask him why he follows Fitz the Bill's high school coverage around.
I was going to ask him, too, what he thinks about Dinwiddie's food and if that should have ranked number 1 in our Fitz the Bill food reviews.
I can't wait to hear that one.
It's Matt's interview. That one's Matt, but I might ask Coach Franklin something similar, see if he wants any of the tips and trick for the concession food around the area. We've got him joining us. We've got Tavita Pritchard, the new Stanford head coach, the former QB coach for the Washington Commanders. He's joining us. Davis Warren, the Stanford quarterback. All of those interviews will be aired throughout the 3 to 6 6 p.m. 3 to 6 p.m. hours later on today. And we've got so much more coming up, but keep it locked right here. Dave Doran will be joining us at about 9:20 West Durham at 9:40 as we are live from ACC Kickoff in the true Queen City, Charlotte, North Carolina. Appreciate our friends at Graybo's for helping us bring you all of this great coverage.
Golf season is here at Hunting Hawk Golf Club. Plan your next golf outing for your kids' athletic team, church group, or fundraiser online at huntinghawk.com. That's huntinghawk.com.
Stay tuned for FIFA World Cup Daily Reports on 106.1 ESPN, brought to you in part by Shepherd Street Tavern, 2922 Park Avenue, your home for international soccer watch parties.
106.1 ESPN on-air interviews presented by the Herman Allen Plumbing Heating and Cooling Hotline with Lennox products that make the air in your home absolutely perfect.
Someone had a birthday.
Yep, 50. Can't believe it.
50 years of wisdom.
Great segue. We have a health reminder from the CDC.
Pneumococcal vaccination is recommended for adults 50 or older. Says here, we're over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50.
I don't love those odds.
Same. Look what I found. Pfizer's Prevnar 20 is proven to help protect adults against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease in just 1 dose, and millions have already gotten it.
Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you have a severe allergy to its ingredients. A weakened immune system may lower your response. Common side effects include injection site pain and swelling, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138. Visit Prevnar20.com or talk to your doctor or pharmacist.
I'm on Prevnar20.com now, scheduling my appointment.
Good idea. And happy 50th.
Many websites selling medication may look professional and legitimate, but the vast majority of sites selling prescription drugs are doing so illegally. Criminals use websites to sell counterfeit medications that may contain life-threatening toxins. Dot Pharmacy is a website verification program that helps you identify safe and trustworthy online pharmacies. Purchasing medicine online can be safe and easy. Just look for pharmacy to the right of the dot in website addresses. A public service message from the National Association of Boards of Pharmacy.
Your home for Richmond Spiders athletics all year round. W291CL Lakeside Richmond. WURV HD2 Richmond. We are 106.1 ESPN. You're listening to the second hour of Fitz the Bill on 106.1 ESPN.
Welcome in hour number 2 of Fitz the Bill on this Wednesday morning as we are live from ACC Kickoff, Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm Jack Fitzpatrick. Alan back in the home studios in the capital of the Commonwealth as he's a little lonely talking to an empty studio. How's it going up there in the capital of the Commonwealth there, Alan?
The weather's nice. And it's actually very quiet. It's kind of creepy quiet because I don't even know if Kobe's here. So it's weird.
Man.
Like I'm the only person on the floor. I think everybody else took vacation and you guys went to Charlotte and I'm just left by myself.
Hey, I'll be taking vacation next week, so no show next week. We're just giving you all of the content humanly possible between today, tomorrow, and Friday. Our coverage brought to you by Graybo's over there in Scott's Addition, right there on Lee Street next to Parlay Bar and Lounge. I've been talking about it. We got these Bowman Chrome U cards. We've got even more cards that I'm keeping hidden. I don't want anyone to see them. We've got a numbered card that there were only 10 made. Alan, I want you to guess what player it is. It's a signed card. Only 10 were made in the world. I want you to guess what player it is.
It's an ACC card?
It's an ACC card. I'll even give you the team because I am that confident you will not guess this player. That's how absurd we got. I've got to find Dabo, and I've got to show it to Dabo, and I've got to get him on record with this card. It is a Clemson card. It is numbered out of 10, so only 10 are in the world. Signed. Who do you think it would be?
Man. CJ Spiller?
No, that's a great guess. Great guess.
I was just
because it's
trying to
Phil Maffa.
Okay, I was just trying to think of a random name because I was like, it couldn't be Trevor Lawrence because it'd be more than that.
Yeah, exactly. It was just a random guy. And then, I was over there at Graybo's yesterday picking up all the cards. Gray showed it to me. He goes, you got to try to get this to Dabo. It's a Phil Maffa card. And I was like, that is an epic pull. There's only 10 of these made in the world. It's numbered out of 10. I was like, this is phenomenal. But thanks to our friends over there at Graybo's for helping you bring us this coverage. And before we get any further here in our number 2, we want to let you guys know you can call, text in 804-327-0888. The Radkey Insurance text line, phone line is open at radkeyinsurance.com to get started on your free quote today. And drum roll, please. I'm getting better at it. I'm getting better. Morgan Wallen tickets. Yeah, you probably do. Morgan Wallen tickets. We're giving away Morgan Wallen tickets. That is right. The hottest act in country music right now, Morgan Wallen. He's up at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore this Friday, July 17th. And folks, we are giving away two tickets to Morgan Wallen?
2 tickets to Morgan Wallen.
2 tickets to paradise. We're giving away 2 tickets. Morgan Wallen, he sounds better than that, I swear. But Morgan Wallen, go on over to the ESPN Richmond app. You can download it, Apple App Store, Google Play Store. Download the app. You can enter in to win the tickets. The contest is open until tomorrow, Thursday, noon. It closes. So while you're listening to the show right now, if you're even watching or listening to the show on the ESPN Richmond app, just go on over, enter in the contest. 2 tickets to Morgan Wallen this Friday up in Baltimore. All right. You know where I want to take this start of our number 2?
Where?
Ben Solak had a very good article. And as you know, I love nerd numbers. So Ben Solak is one of the best nerd number talkers out there, at least in my humble opinion. He's been on the show once or twice. Where we plan to have him on a couple of more times before the NFL season started. But he wrote a really in-depth piece previewing the upcoming NFL season, and he was breaking down coach, coordinator, play caller, player matches, schemes, essentially some of the new breakdowns, right? So like Mike Evans and Kyle Shanahan, how's that going to work? Kevin O'Connell with Kyler Murray, how is that going to look? Because half the league has a new offensive play caller this season, which means a ton of players are stepping into totally new roles. And Solak picked out 8 of them, which could bring us some very, very fun kind of duos, right? Like the first one I want to start with, of course, is Kevin O'Connell and Kyler Murray, because I have been on record and I will be on record until the NFL season starts. They are my dark horse team to win the NFC and to make it to the Super Bowl out of the NFC. Kevin O'Connell paired up with Kyler Murray. I love that pairing because Kyler Murray is nowhere near as bad as Sam Darnold was when Sam Darnold stepped foot into Minnesota and joined Kevin O'Connell, right? Kyler has been, for all intents and purposes, a middle-of-the-road quarterback since he joined the NFL. His highs are really high. His lows aren't really all that low, but he gets hurt a lot, and that's the issue. Now, the thing with Kevin O'Connell is his offense has been kind of built around pocket passers, guys who don't have the same mobility as Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray, his entire career, now a big portion of his career was with Cliff Kingsbury, so it was shotgun heavy. It wasn't a lot of under center. It wasn't a lot of what we think of as pure play action. It was more... It was more college-y. It was Cliff Kingsbury. As a Commanders fan, I bet you probably know exactly what that's like. And it's just not it's different from Kevin O'Connell. It's probably the nicest way I could say it. Over the past 5 years, Murray ranks 36th, though, out of 40 high-volume quarterbacks and throws 10 to 20 yards down the field between the numbers, whereas Cousins, Stafford, Goff, Darnold are all top 13. So Kevin O'Connell, with his pocket passer built offense, I think is going to make Kyler throw it in places he's not necessarily the most comfortable. And it's going to make for a career year for Kyler Murray. I am the most excited for that pairing.
Well, the biggest issue with Kyler is that he's played off script so much from college to NFL that in Kevin O'Connell's system, you got to play on on time.
Schedule.
Yeah, you got to be on schedule. And so that'll be an adjustment for him just in his approach to the game, because he's used to buying himself time, freestyling a little bit, scrambling outside the pocket and then making throws, right? With Jetta, you kind of have that safety valve. Addison too, but the offensive structure demands that you throw the ball on time. So he's going to have to make that adjustment mentally.
1,000%. And if he does make that adjustment, which I fully believe he will, as long as Call of Duty isn't out, right? Like I think there's a good chance that Kyler Murray could be the best running quarterback in a McVay tree offense, right? Like think of the running and mobile quarterbacks.
No, I'm thinking
Trey Lance. He doesn't inspire joy in me. He doesn't inspire joy. Malik Willis. He doesn't really inspire joy in me. Like there is a real possibility that Kyler could be the best running quarterback in a McVay tree offense if Kyler is able to kind of adapt to the system and there can be this harmonious marriage. Because if not, and Kyler wants to play his style of football that is counterintuitive to the style of football that Kevin O'Connell wants him to play, this could be an absolutely horrendous marriage starting in week 1.
Yeah, if he fights it, he's going to struggle. Like that's as simple as you can put it. If you fight any of these guys' systems, you're going to struggle. Throw the ball where they tell you to throw the ball. Go through your progressions like they say. Just trust their system and you'll be fine. Like the thing about Kyle can make any quarterback look good because it's a very simple system. He's not asking for a lot. He's asking you to throw the ball on time and throw it between the hashes. If you can,
Trey Lance can't do that.
Yeah, if you could throw it between the hashes, you're good, man. Like that's where he wants you to work, man. Like middle of the field, and I think that's why Purdy has found success, because Purdy honestly makes throws that even I'm not sure he realizes he should make that throw, and it works out more often than not for him. And the same with Stafford. Like Stafford was a gunslinger when he was in Detroit. He would throw the ball, and he's still a gunslinger. He's going to throw the ball. So it's real easy. Jordan Love the same way, even though I'm not as high on him, but his mentality.
He's one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. Let me tell you that right now.
So they say. His mentality coming out of Utah State was, I'm going to let this thing go. And so when you have that kind of mentality in those offensive structures, you look good. Kirk Cousins also is not afraid to throw the ball. And that's why he had success. Sam Darnold, when he was finally with Kevin O'Connell, he was already through that system, twice, I think? He was not afraid to throw the ball when he got to Minnesota.
Yeah.
So
that's a great point. You twice? Was it? That was his second time, right? Because he was with Kyle Shanahan for that year in San Fran, then went to KOC.
Yeah.
Man, Seattle really just poaches over all of your guys, man.
We
took your former backup quarterback.
I don't want to talk about it.
We took your part owner. Man, we're going to win another Super Bowl with your part owner. Man, Seattle owns that.
Or
San
maybe it's big brain and he bought the team so he can ruin it from the inside.
Okay, yeah, we'll see how that one works out for you. So much like Kyle Shanahan's big brain that gets you so many blown leads in the Super Bowl.
Kyle Shanahan is a Seattle plant for sure, based on how he coaches.
Maybe. I can neither confirm nor deny this information that has been brought to me. I can neither confirm nor deny. Another fun play caller, new player combination is Sean Payton. Sean Payton, you love him or you hate him off of the field, right? He's probably one of the best offensive minds in the NFL, right? Like you gotta.
He's one of them. Yeah.
You got to be honest with yourself that he is an elite level offensive mind. And now he's given Jalen Waddle, who was second fiddle for the last, 5 years with Tyreek Hill over there in Miami. Now he gets to kind of emerge as the bona fide wide receiver one. I know Courtland Sutton is there. I'm not trying to be rude to Courtland Sutton, but Jalen Waddle is the best wide receiver on that roster, and Sean Payton gets to play with him. Jalen Waddle, he can catch it out of the backfield. He can go on go ball. Like, he is a multi-use wide receiver, and now Sean Payton gets to kind of have some fun with him. Now, I know Sean Payton did technically give up play calling duties to Davis Webb, but the scheme context here, it is the same as Sean Payton. And Sean Payton has almost never had a receiver with 30% or more target share in his 17 years as a head coach. But I don't think he's really, maybe a couple of years here and there in New Orleans, but pure talent wise, I don't think he's ever had a wide receiver as good as Jalen Waddle. And Bo Nix, here's the thing. Bo Nix is split stats, right? He's 11th in the league in success rate against man coverage, 31st against zone coverage. Waddle's game, which is deep speed, quick breaking middle routes, he can do very quick developing plays. it answers Denver's problem that they have had in zone. And that could be the thing that Bo Nix leans on when they are facing against zone coverage, so that he's not one of the worst quarterbacks in the league against zone coverage. So I think this is really going to raise the ceiling of the Denver Broncos offense, because it definitely hit a ceiling at the tail end of last season.
Yeah, I am super excited to see this because when I think about Sean Payton's system and I think about what a speedy receiver can do, typically I'm thinking like Ted Ginn days.
Throwback.
Yeah, but I mean, that was when his offense was, to me, was the most explosive, and he would attack teams from the slot over the seams, right? He would find a way to either split the safeties and get vertical over any kind of deep coverage. I think back then it was probably more single high, which, in modern football, that's going to get you lit up a lot. But I think for him, with what he likes to do, it's definitely a good fit. It's a good fit for his scheme. It's a good fit for Bo Nix, who can get the ball out quickly to somebody who's willing to make plays after he catches the ball. That was something I think Waddle didn't get enough credit for coming out of Alabama. I think he slots in well with what's our guy on the other side? Sutton. Yeah, I think he slots in good with him. And then I Googled it because I can't remember a lot of the receivers. I think Michael Thomas, he's not as athletic, but I think Michael Thomas was
Slant God.
Yeah. Slant, what does he call him? Slant guy?
Slant God? Slant boy.
Yeah, Slant boy. Slant boy was pretty consistent. Brandon Cooks also, I think, would be a good kind of like comparison as far as how he was used and how Waddle will probably look in Denver. So yeah, I'm actually really excited to see how that plays out.
All right, the next one I've got for you. Ready for this?
Yeah.
Brian Daboll, Cam Ward, and Robert Saleh, Jeffrey Simmons. So Cam Ward is kind of similar to Caleb Williams in that their rookie seasons, they had ugly stats, but they showed real flashes with a terrible surrounding cast, right? And Brian Daboll, the offensive coordinator for Tennessee after he got fired from the New York Giants, if you missed that, he is now the offensive coordinator down there. He has had a history of unlocking some amazing play out of quarterbacks. Daniel Jones, first year with Brian Daboll, I think he was a Pro Bowl quarterback. He got them to the playoffs, and he really leaned into Daniel Jones' strengths. Brian Daboll is also credited with kind of unlocking this version of Josh Allen. Like, he did a great job with Josh Allen, and now you give him Cam Ward. That could potentially unlock him on that stage of it all. I'm excited to see Brian Daboll team up with Cam Ward, because Cam Ward, there are a lot of underlying metrics that suggest that Cam Ward could have a great sophomore breakout campaign.
Yeah, I like that comparison or pairing. I think Daboll's experience will definitely help. Cam Ward's probably a good mixture of Josh Allen and Daniel Jones as far as like his athletic ability. Like, he's got it, but he's not as extreme as Josh Allen, obviously, and he's not under Daniel Jones. He's somewhere in between those guys, I believe. I think the biggest thing for them is to make sure they unlock their running game, to kind of give Cam a little bit of time and a little easier way of going about it. They didn't have a bad running game with Tony Pollard the year before. So I look forward to seeing that team. I already know what Saleh's going to do with the defense. Like, as long as they listen, they're going to be a top 10 defense. Like, he's a mastermind at defense.
And you look at Saleh with defensive tackles, right? DeForest Buckner. You got Quinnen Williams. Now he's given Jeffrey Simmons, who's already coming off of a career year with 11 sacks and 17 TFLs. Saleh's system has defensive tackles attack upfield with total freedom. And Ben Solak and myself thinks that with Jeffrey Simmons in there, they could have a really, really good middle of that defensive line where Simmons could finish the year as an all-pro.
Simmons he's the biggest player I've seen in the NFL in person.
Really?
I've seen some big guys, but I will never forget the year that the Commanders played the Titans. I thought the entire Titans team was massive, and he stood higher and taller than all of them. And I was like, yo, how do you even block this guy? Like, seriously.
Bigger, faster, stronger, everything.
He was something else, man. So I'm a big fan of his, and I look forward to seeing him with a good defensive coordinator, defensive mind.
He kind of gives me Myles Garrett vibes, where it's the fact of like he's probably one of the most dominant defensive linemen we have in the NFL. Now, Garrett, he plays the edge position, so it's a little bit more flashy, but like Simmons is probably one of the top 3 defensive tackles in the league, and he's a guy we almost never talk about because he's on the Tennessee Titans. Like, if he was on the San Francisco 49ers, if he was on the Seahawks, if he was on, I don't know, the Rams, I didn't mean to name just NFC West teams there, but like if he was on like a big successful team, we'd be talking about him as one of the greatest defensive tackles of this generation.
Yeah, no, for sure. Exposure definitely sways a lot of our opinions. I mean, Myles Garrett stands out because his production is so high, but look how long it took for people to realize Max Crosby was a beast. And it wasn't until he got exposure that people were like, hey, yo, that guy out there in Los Angeles or Oakland or wherever they were at is pretty good, right? So I think it would be the same. Like if we put TJ Watt on a smaller market team or a less visible team, people would be slow to realize how good he is unless he had the production and the awards.
Yes. Now here's another one that's going to make us all have our skin squirm. Chris Shula and Myles Garrett, man. Chris Shula is the defensive coordinator for the Los Angeles Rams, and he's getting Myles Garrett. We've got a Say What segment coming up later on in hour number 2 where Ryan Clark talks about the possibility of Aaron Donald coming out of retirement. Could you imagine that Rams defense with Garrett and Donald? That's not fair.
Well, yeah, I'm seeing I'm seeing Aaron Donald stuff getting warmer.
Yeah, and I don't like it.
But I don't. The pause wasn't because I'm trying to be dramatic. It's true concern.
Yeah, I'm worried.
I've seen Myles Garrett. Like Trent Williams is my favorite offensive lineman. He is the absolute anchor of the Niners offensive line. I saw Myles Garrett take Trent Williams and treat him like a baby. I talk about it all the time, but he destroyed him one-on-one, man-to-man. And if he can do that, and then you add in an Aaron Donald, God help us if you slot Aaron Donald right next to Myles Garrett and Kobe Turner right next to him. Like, what are we supposed to do with this?
Yeah, I don't like it.
No, seriously, what are we supposed to do with that?
I don't like it.
You can't block them. You cannot block all 3.
You just pray to Pope Leo and you hope that some of that Chicago Bears magic can rub off on you too.
Absolutely.
I guess that's the only way. Mike McDaniel, Omarion Hampton, that's going to be fun.
I do love Omarion.
I cannot wait for that Chargers offense with Mike McDaniel as the offensive coordinator. I think he is going to thrive. I think he was a good coach in Miami, but I think at times with everything going on around him in Miami, he got a little out over his skis, and I think that's why things kind of fell apart. Dolphin Dave probably shaking his fist right now at the radio because I know he wasn't the biggest Mike McDaniel fan, but now that he's an OC and he can focus just on being an OC, Nelly, he's gonna have some innovation happening over there in Los Angeles.
So the thing about the Dolphins where they went stale is when their offensive line got hurt and they could never replenish or kind of get back to that time where every run was like a big chunk run, like when they had Jeff Wilson and those guys, where it was like it looked like the Niners, right? Like you could just slide anybody at running back and they get 7 yards of carry. Omarion Hampton, I think you probably recall when we were, it was like your first year of doing the broadcast. I think we had that conversation. I said I liked Hampton the most in that draft. Yeah, I was a big fan of his, but he's got the vision. He's a natural running back, low center of gravity. You hit him, he doesn't fall down. He's a weeble wobble, and I think if they can find the consistency, seriously, if they can find the consistency at the offensive line, if they get the athletes at offensive line, because it's not just big bodies in that system. You got to have guys that can move their feet. If he finds that, you're combining McDaniels with Harbaugh. That is going to be an absolutely punishing offense, right? They're going to be as physical as physically possible. As long as the bodies hold up, they're going to give you probably 35, 40 runs a game, and it's going to be so many different looks. It's going to be very taxing on defenses. And it's going to be something that I don't think the NFL is quite ready for just yet, because we see people run the ball, but we don't see many run first teams anymore. And I think this team, even with Justin Herbert at quarterback, will definitely be run first if they get cooking.
Perfect. I'm going to get a quick break in because head coach Dave Doran is going to be making his way over here. NC State head coach, get a quick break in. Thanks to our friends at Graybo's for bringing us all of this stuff. They are a big reason why we are down here. One of the presenting sponsors. Dave Doran joining us next.
Fitz the Bill on 106.1 ESPN Richmond. Back in just a moment.
Do you work in healthcare? Your new future starts here. Eisenhower Health is recruiting for a variety of specialties in Southern California's beautiful Palm Springs area. Join a team where advanced care, compassion, and community come together at one of America's premier medical centers. At Eisenhower Health, you'll deliver top-tier care with advanced technology while enjoying an exceptional quality of life. Find your place at Eisenhower Health. Visit emc.org/healthcarepros. That's emc.org/healthcarepros. We'll welcome you home.
Lenny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu. My Computer Career, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
You're listening to Fitz the Bill, Richmond's morning sports talk show on 106.1 ESPN Richmond.
Even though what we do is wrong, we still hustle till the sun come up.
Welcome back in. Fitz the Bill on ESPN Richmond. I'm Jack Fitzpatrick. Allen back at our home studios in the capital of the Commonwealth. We're joined now, Dave Doran, NC State head coach. Good morning, Coach. How are we feeling on this Wednesday?
Feel good, thank you.
How's ACC Kickoff been treating you so far?
We're in the beginning of this, so I'm not worn out yet. I'm doing okay.
We had a Miami linebacker on first thing 8 a.m., and I was like, this is great because I'm going to ask you the questions that are going to be asked throughout the whole entire day. But let's start with your quarterback here before we head into too much of it. You got C.J. Bailey returning, and he's projected to be one of the top quarterbacks in the ACC. How have you seen him grow from being a true freshman thrust into that starting role to where we are now in 2026?
Yeah, I don't know if I can explain his growth. It's exponential, from 45 pounds of body weight change to the mental capacity that he has now on the offense and as a leader, his maturity. He's always been a tremendous human being, and so that part hasn't changed. He stay humble throughout all this, and that's easy to not do. I'm proud of him, not just as a player, but as a human being, as a man, as a leader, and excited. To get to watch his growth and see what he can do this year.
And looking at this upcoming season, you guys have 7 home games. First home game of the year is against 804 Richmond Spiders. Right. But with that many home games, how are you guys approaching a schedule? Because 7 seems to be more than often.
We always play 7 home games.
Okay.
So that's not. But, we're excited. We open up on a Friday night with Richmond. It'll be a great home game environment, and that's on 9/11. So it'll be a huge remembrance with the game, and excited for our team to be able to play a good football team from down the road.
And the game you guys open up this season at UVA kind of had this interesting dynamic with it initially at Brazil. How'd that process go in deciding to move it back to Charlottesville? What was that whole process like?
It's just the logistics of it. It comes down to 2 teams needing to do a lot of things to travel that far, and the host it just didn't come together is the right way to say it. I don't think anyone's to blame. I think it just didn't work out, and it's unfortunate from a life experience standpoint, but at the same time, I think we're all excited not to have to fly 10 hours after a game. And for our fan base, it's a lot easier to get to Charlottesville than it is to Rio de Janeiro.
You can say that again. I think Interstate, 85, 95, a lot easier to go up than a nice United flight or whatever it is down to Rio. Looking at it, you're going into year 14 at NC State, 16 overall. How has the job changed for you since starting at NC State? How's it changed to today? Because a lot has been thrown at you.
Yeah, I've said this already a couple times. When I first got here, they just introduced the new ability of us to feed our athletes whenever we want. That was the big thing in college football, that we had unlimited food. And it was like, oh, my God, they don't just get to go to the dining hall anymore 3 times, and now we're creating contracts for a lot of money for guys, right? And the transfer portal, you name it. Like, it's changed 100 million times more over 5 years than it had in my previous 29 as a coach. And so 16 as a head coach, but 17 as a position coach. So I've been in the sport a long time. I've seen a lot of things happen, some good, some bad. And I do like the direction things are going now. It seems like there's a lot of people understanding football needs help, basketball needs help, and the rules and accountability that need to be a part of it.
You guys had to use the transfer portal a little bit this offseason. Only 2 returners, I believe, on your defensive side of the defensive starters. What do you guys look for when you're trying to essentially rebuild an entire side of the football? Is it freshmen?
Yeah,
is it
I think
transfers?
that number's not very accurate. We played a lot of guys last year, and we had a lot of injuries. So there was a lot of guys that started 3 or 4 games throughout the season that we look at as starters that the media, I guess, doesn't. But there's a lot of guys that came back that have played meaningful snaps for us on defense. And there's a lot of kids that have developed in our program that are now ready to do that have been in 1, 2, 3 years that we can't wait to see play that people don't even know about. And so we're not as concerned about that as maybe other people are. I think it's more of an excitement that we have so many guys back that played.
How do you guys go about retaining talent? Because you just mentioned you've got guys that have been in your program for multiple years. That seems like kind of a nice thing to have in today's day and age.
Well, you do things the right way with them. You build trust. You're honest and transparent and fair, demanding. You hold them to their goals. These kids say they want to play in the NFL, and they need to understand what that looks like. And so we treat them a certain way that I think they really appreciate. There is a philosophy of coach them hard and love them harder. And so for most of our guys, that resonates. It's very relational in our building. There's a lot of care for these young men and care from them to us. And it's transactional. At NC State, I believe in this. Things are earned, not given. And the guys that play well and do things right for us are treated very, very well. From the financial side of things, the transactional side of things, where some places probably invest more on guys coming in, we invest more on guys staying and building the roster through development and retention.
Looking at this upcoming season for you guys, what is it going to take to break through, win the ACC, get double-digit wins? What's it going to take to break through?
Yeah, I think a lot of it in today's sport is your health. You can't rely on your depth the same way as you used to have a senior, a junior, a sophomore, and a freshman in your lineup. Now, a lot of places your backups are gone because they want to play. And so they transfer somewhere. And a lot of us now go from a senior to a freshman or a redshirt freshman. And so there's a drop-off in experience there, and maybe not talent all the time, but definitely experience. And so if you look at Indiana, it's the oldest team in college football, and they stayed very healthy. Yeah. They had the same O-line play every game. And so, we need to have a blessing when it comes to that. And we haven't had one the last few years. We've dealt with a lot of injuries.
And I feel like I'd be remiss if I didn't bring up Russell Wilson, 804, NC State, one of the greatest quarterbacks for the Wolfpack. CJ Bailey, when he came in his freshman year, put up a lot of freshman records right there, beating out Russell Wilson right behind Phillip Rivers. What can you see CJ Bailey go down as in terms of NC State great quarterbacks?
He could be one of the best, if not the best. And this year will be a big part of that for him. And it's not about records for him and me. It's about winning. And I think that's the byproduct of him playing well is the accolades that he's going to get. And he'll earn every one of them. And he has an opportunity with the players around him to go do that.
Awesome, Coach. Really appreciate your time. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday down here at ACC Kickoff. And good luck the rest of the season.
Thanks a lot. Go Pack.
We'll get a quick break in. Be back with more Fitz the Bill.
In RVA, and the best spot to catch every international game is Shepherd Street Tavern. Game day specials such as 6 wings for $6 and $20 pitchers of Modelo, Carlsberg, and Stella beer available during every match. Now under new management, Shepherd Street Tavern is located at 2922 Park Avenue in the Museum District. Stop by, meet your friends, and bring the dogs to our outdoor patio and catch the vibe at Shepherd Street Tavern, the place for soccer watch parties.
Planning an upcoming event? Trust the rental company Central Virginia counts on most, Classic Party Rentals of Virginia. Proudly voted an A-list superstar by Richmond Magazine, we're the trusted provider for weddings, corporate events, graduation parties, and more. From tents and luxury restroom trailers to tables and chairs and everything in between, we have what you need. Visit us online at classicpartyrentalsva.com.
This is advertising material.
When a doctor's mistake leaves you or someone you love seriously hurt, you need a fighter in your corner. Alexander Shinar Trial Attorneys has been holding negligent doctors and hospitals accountable and getting families the justice they deserve. The consultation is free. They don't get paid until you do. Call 877-222-6666 or visit alexwins.law. Don't wait, alexwins.law.
This is advertising material. Past results do not guarantee future outcomes. Every case is different. Philip George's licensed attorney in Virginia is responsible for legal work. Office is located in Norfolk.
Hey RVA, Paul from All Set Auto Richmond here. That ice storm sure left its mark. That leftover salt and sand are now hazardous to the health of your ride's paint. At All Set, we've got the perfect defense. Paint protection film, ceramic coating, and window tint to keep your paint shielded and shiny and your body cool. And remember, that spring pollen is no match for our detailing services. Look for us right off I-64 at Gaskins Road. Google All Set Auto Richmond or visit allsetauto.com. That's ALSET auto.com.
All Set Auto Richmond. Protect, preserve, personalize.
Golf season is here. Whether it's your first round of the year or the next round, make sure you're playing it at Hunting Hawk Golf Club. We're offering special pricing this summer on outings for civic organizations, churches, kids' athletic teams, or your own special fundraiser. Also, now is the time to start signing up for your fall golf outings. For more information or to book a tee time, give us a call at 804-749-1900 or visit online at huntinghawkgolf.com.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800-727-9105. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this important free information, call 800-727-9105. 800-727-9105. 800-727-9105.
Star Hill Bear Hall and Rooftop presents FIFA World Cup tournament coverage on 106.1 ESPN. Catch every match at 3406 West Lee Street in Scott's Addition.
From the FIFA World Cup to competitive business environments, grand ambitions lead to game-changing achievements. At Bank of America, we're there to support businesses at every step, providing insights and expertise to help you gain an edge.
He shoots, he scores!
What would you like the power to do? Explore winning business solutions at BofA.com/gamechangers. Bank of America, official bank of the FIFA World Cup 2026.
In the military, the mission was clear. You knew what to do. Now, the mission has changed. Stepping into civilian life isn't about finding a job. It's finding your purpose.
I wanted a career that would leverage the skills and discipline I gained in the military. IT just felt right.
My Computer Career offers class schedules that fit into your life and skills in high demand. Put your VA benefits to work. Visit mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to jumpstart your IT career today. An elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
You're tuned into Fitz the Bill, Richmond's only local morning sports talk show on 106.1 ESPN Richmond. Powered by Ironclad Coffee and Baking Company.
What are you saying?
Excuse me?
What?
Excuse me?
What? Say what? What the are you saying?
He would be a luxury for the Los Angeles Rams in this defense that Les Snead has built throughout this offseason. Think about third down packages, bringing in Aaron Donald to the game, adding him to someone like Myles Garrett when you already have a Fitz and a young Brian on the outside. And so I look forward to seeing if he truly does come back, because this would be like adding Kevin Durant to the Golden State Warriors and having that guy who could be that finisher when you needed him.
I love how he accidentally said Kevin Garnett instead of Kevin Durant. That's the say what part. No, I'm kidding, of course. Alan, you got to walk me off the ledge here. I'm not looking forward to the Rams bringing back Aaron Donald because all signs point to that. To update everyone, this started on June 1 when Aaron Donald told Pat McAfee that the move to trade for Myles Garrett, quote, sure got me thinking, and he needs to, quote, see if that fire can light back up. Since then, Donald has been spotted working out at the Rams facility. Now, don't freak out too much because Jeremy Fowler has said that has been happening off and on for the last few years, but then more came out. Adam Schefter, he said that his guess is that Aaron Donald ultimately comes back to play. Then a beat writer for the California Post said that Donald is seriously considering a return with a growing sense inside the Rams organization and around the league that he'll be back for the majority of the 2026 season. And Sean McVay has confirmed that he has stayed in close touch with Donald, knows the respect that Aaron Donald has for Myles Garrett, and has talked to him directly about the opportunity to join him. And then Peter Schrager with a report yesterday that said if Donald comes back, he wants to go the full season and wants to be at his best version of himself, not a diminished one. Money hasn't been discussed. The first question is simply whether he's ready. Seems like where there's smoke, there's fire, and we may be seeing Aaron Donald making his return, and I'm not looking forward to it.
Nah, I tried to tell everybody when it first got announced, and everybody laughed, and some people was like, well, what does he have left? I don't want to find out. I actually don't want to find out.
Pass.
I'm good on that.
Hey, if he has everything left in the tank, that's fine.
Man,
that's fine.
You give me a third of what he was when he was in his prime, and that's still going to be good for third downs, man.
Right?
Like, that's going to be disruptive and impactful, and he's playing next to freaking Myles Garrett. So pick your poison. Your poison.
Truly.
And it's one of those situations where even if you pick your poison, options C and D are still pretty darn good.
C and D are probably top level performers on any other team.
And now they get one-on-ones because you gotta block the other two with 4 or 5 people.
I just love how this is coming from 2 NFC West fans where 49ers and Seahawks are represented, and you can just hear the fear in our voice. We're just please no.
Again, I will go through the list of the Rams schedule, and if you are a fan of these teams, you should be afraid for your quarterback if this happens. That's the Niners, the Broncos, the Bills, the Commanders, the Chargers, the Packers, the Chiefs, the Cowboys, the Seahawks, the Buccaneers. Like, it's not just the Niners, man. They got a good schedule for somebody who wants to just hit quarterbacks. The ones that can't be touched, they got a schedule full of them.
I got a question for you. Right now, the Rams are plus 295 to reach the Super Bowl, plus 550 to win it. Are they worth a sprinkle at this point in the offseason? Because I imagine that number will move a little bit once Aaron Donald announces he's returning.
Yeah. And as the texter said, that's a cheat code. Absolutely. It needs to be an investigation.
Yeah.
Can we make a rule? When you retire, you're done. You can't come back. You just can't. No more Phillip Rivers stuff or any of that nonsense. Once you retire, you are done. If you want to come back, you got to be practice squad or you got to go coach somewhere. You don't get to play again, Aaron Donald. Cut his access from the facility, man. This is crazy.
I love that he has always been kind of working out off and on.
He's an
the Rams facility.
Monster.
He's just kept this in his back of his mind for the last 3 years since he's retired. He's like, you know what? I might be able to come back whenever I want to come back.
And for the folks who question whether or not he'll be in shape, what he's looking at is playing shape. Like, can he take the physicality of the game? It's not about actual like physical shape. Go watch his workouts with Jared Verse, who is like 10 years his senior. He's got this guy crying and throwing up. His wife had to come in and save Jared Verse in one of the workout videos.
I think Puka Nacua too had to be saved.
Yes. Like, he's killing people. And so he's in shape. It's not about him not being in shape. He definitely ain't gained an ounce of weight. It's just the demand, right? The physical demand of the position, playing in the trenches. A lot of people downplay it, but those guys are getting smacked, punched, jacked up all the time.
Yeah, 100. And then here we are. And we, as Seahawks fans, as 49ers fans, we're likely going to have to deal with it. And you know what's scary? The fact that he has said, this is, again, the report from yesterday from Peter Schrager, where if Aaron Donald does come back, he wants to go the full season.
Yeah.
Because there was a part of me that was like, you know what? He may come back. I expect him to come back, but maybe he'll be like a week 10 addition for like the final playoff push, and he can come in fresh and he can do all of that. Now, as a Seahawks fan, that doesn't really help me because the Rams and Seahawks play twice over like the final month of the season. So if he did decide to do that, Seattle would be getting him twice. But like the fact that he's even thinking about this in the way of I'm going to come back and I'm going to come back for the entire season tells me that he is coming back. You know, like you don't think about that if you aren't coming back.
Yeah, he's the type of athlete. He's either all in or all out. He's not going to give you 50%. That's why when he came back for the Super Bowl run and there was questions about whether or not he would stay, it was pretty obvious when he decided that he, wasn't all in, he was going to retire. I think McVay's the same kind of guy as a coach. So if McVay's already talking to him, that to me tells me that he's thinking about coming back. I would imagine Sean just literally being like, Aaron, come on, let's run it back one more time is good enough.
Yes. And also the texter just said they got McDuffie too. And they got Jalen Watson, is that his name? The cornerback from Kansas City. Yeah. They just took Kansas City's cornerback room and they just imported it into LA.
Yeah, and then they got the best pass rusher in his generation to come over, and now they're going to get the best defensive lineman
who's still in his prime. He might be at the tail end of his prime, but Myles Garrett, what did he just do last year? Oh, set the single season sack record.
Yeah,
cool.
I keep saying, these are two guys, in Aaron Donald and Myles Garrett. If we got them at 50%, it's better than a lot of people's 75 and 100% nowadays.
Truly, true. I'm over it. The texter said they got both of my players from the Chiefs. Yeah,
that's
they took the best. They took the best players
Rick.
from. Yeah, it is probably Casey Rick. Casey Rick's the one that. Look, I can scroll up in the text. Casey Rick was the one that called the Bosnia upset over the U.S. men's national team. So, and you're in my bad graces there, Casey Rick. You bet against America, which I think that actually would have hit if it. No, it would not have. Croatia lost. Croatia lost to Portugal.
Not only that, but I don't have any sympathy for anybody cheering for Patrick Mahomes.
Hey, true. He especially you. But that's years of happiness, and you had to go through years of heartbreak with it too.
Yeah, but that's definitely concerning. That he's like, if I'm going to play the full season. That's definitely concerning.
I'm scared. Call me scared. All right, let's get a quick break in. We'll step aside, be back to wrap up this Wednesday edition of Fitz the Bill live from ACC Kickoff. Before we get to that break, however, we've got a contest running up over on our app, the ESPN Richmond app. If you want to download the app, it's really simple. Just head on over to the Apple App Store, the Google Play Store, type in ESPN Richmond. We'll pop right on up, and you can enter into the contest. I was getting ready to do my live stream read there. You can enter into the contest, and you will be entered in to win 2 Morgan Wallen tickets for his concert on Friday up in Baltimore at M&T Bank Stadium. His Friday concert. You can enter in to win the tickets over there on the ESPN Richmond app. Download it, Apple App Store, Google Play Store. If you don't have it downloaded already, Morgan Wallen tickets. We're giving away 2 of them. Friday's show up in Baltimore. Enter in the app between now and tomorrow at noon.
Fitz the Bill, Richmond's morning sports talk show. Don't go far.
RVA has the international soccer fever, and the perfect spot to catch every match and enjoy great food is at La Playa Mexican Restaurant. Plenty of high-def, big-screen TVs showing every tournament game, with daily happy hour specialty drinks and chef-inspired menu specials. La Playa is a dining experience where the rich culinary traditions of Mexico meet the freshest seafood served daily. 2617 West Broad Street in the Fan. Dine in or order online at LaPlayaRVA.com and let the games begin.
New Game Plus with Oxy makes your laundry smell incredible and fights stubborn smells, like the ones your dog Biscuit brought into your freshly made bed last night. But you washed that all away with Game, and now you're drifting asleep to the scent and sound of waves. No, that's the dog licking your ear.
Biscuit.
It just might be our greatest scent ever, now with odor fighting power. New Game Plus with Oxy.
And
the zone, AutoZone.
Summer's finally here, and we're kicking it off with a whole lot of free. Free brake pads with Duralast rotors. Free oil filter with 5 quarts of oil. Free Armor All wipes with Armor All glass cleaner, and more. More free, so you can have more summer. Celebrate free at AutoZone. Now through July 27th. Restrictions apply.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Tune in to the Henrico Huddle with Dennis Bickmeyer the last Wednesday of each month, afternoons on 106.1 ESPN, or updates online at henricosea.com.
For adults with Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms, every choice matters. Tremfya offers self-injection or intravenous infusion from the start. Tremfya is administered as injections under the skin or infusions through a vein every 4 weeks, followed by injections under the skin every 4 or 8 weeks. If your doctor decides that you can self-inject Tremfya, proper training is required. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions, increased risk of infections or lower ability to fight them, and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or need a vaccine. Explore what's possible. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more, or visit tremfyaradio.com.
The Rich Eisen Show.
Talking to John Bon Jovi, have you ever been at, say, like a wedding? Somebody's karaokeing your song, and
yeah, there's a famous, embarrassing YouTube thing at Charlie Weiss's son's wedding.
Okay,
when the trumpet player starts playing the bass line of "Living on a Prayer," and you and oh, here it comes, and I gotta get up with the wedding band.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays from noon to 3 Eastern on ESPN Radio, ESPN Plus, and on Disney Plus. This is Freddie and Harry.
Kylie in California. Tell us about that time you're really into someone and they had that turn off that you just could not get past.
Hey, look here. For one love to you, brothers. Y'all got me crying laughing. And I'm going to tell you, those dirty fingernails and those dirty feet for no reason. You know, water goes down, not up, Playboy. You can't be walking around smell like rotten kangaroo pouch. You just can't do it.
Check out more from Freddie and Harry weekdays at 3 Eastern on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
Richmond wanted local sports talk in the morning, and we fits the bill. Back now on 106.1 ESPN Richmond.
Blinded by the light, you wrapped up like a douche, another roller in the night. Blinded by the light.
Welcome back in, Fits the Bill. Alan, thank you so much for putting this as a bumper, because that's going to be stuck in my head quite literally the rest of the day. That is going to be, I'm just going to be whistling that around ACC Kickoff for the rest of the day.
It was funny because when I was looking at the bumper selections, I was like, oh, man, that's catchy.
Yeah, it is. It's a little too catchy. I'm going to be whistling. Literally, that is one of the biggest earworms I've ever heard. Like, it's always stuck in my head. Is there a song that always gets stuck in your head?
Like anything.
Like you hear it and you know it's going to be stuck in your head for the next day.
Anything.
Like,
anything Outkast.
That's a good. That's
like
a good
anything
choice.
Outkast. I just finish it. Like sometimes I'll hear it in passing, and I'll just finish rapping the song or doing the beat or something like that. I can't help myself.
That's fair. I like it. All right, we're down here at ACC Kickoff in Charlotte, North Carolina. Alan's up there in the capital of the Commonwealth, making sure that everything is being held down. We've got a little bit of a change to our schedule. I promised you Wes Durham from the ACC Network. He'll likely be joining a little bit later on, so we'll record that later today. Look, get ready, write this down, because we are recording a ton of interviews. There is a lot of Radio Row availability from around 10 a.m. to about 3 p.m. And in that time frame, we're going to be chatting with Tony Elliott, Cam Robinson, Bo Prabula, Mikhail Boley, Tavita Pritchard, Davis Warren, Micah Ford, Jay Green, a ton of guys. That's the UVA contingent and the Stanford contingent, plus Michael Strickland, a representative from the ACC. He'll be stopping by. We chatted with Michael last year. He was a really good interview. Excited to catch up with him again later on. And then Matt in the mid-major match show at 4:15. He's got Brian Girock. So that's going to be a fantastic interview later on today at around 4:10. Tomorrow, we've got the Boston College contingent joining us, the athletic director for Virginia Tech, Olson Pat Henry from Clemson. We've got another Clemson guy joining us at 10:20. We'll record that, air it for Friday's show. We've got so much coming up. We're going to try and hunt down Wes Durham as well once we wrap up the show, try to get you that interview later on, because I want to open some cards with Wes Durham, see where it takes us, because our friends at Graybos has hooked us up with a ton of Bowman Chrome U cards. They are college football trading cards. They've got some fantastic stuff in each and every box. Each and every box comes with a couple of packs. We'll be opening some of the packs. We'll be ripping wax, as they say, with some of the guys. So excited to catch up with Wes, try to find out where he is, open a couple of packs with him. Plus, we've talked about the cards I've got hidden under the table, a bunch of single cards. Those are for the coaches that we're going to talk with throughout the rest of the week. It's some of their former players, things like that. Just a fun way to kind of get the conversation going here at the ACC Kickoff. And that's all thanks to our friends at Graybos. You can check them out if you want to get back into rip and wax, if you want to get back into trading cards, if you're into it big time and you want a good spot to look for cards, head on over to Graybos in Scott's Edition. Rip your own wax, grab a drink at Parlay while you're at it. Graybos, Scott's Edition's home for the hobby, right over there on Lee Street. Plus, we've talked about it. We've got Morgan Wallen tickets we're giving away. Head on over to the ESPN Richmond app. You can enter in the contest over there. That app can be found on the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store. All right, earlier here in hour number 2, we caught up with Dave Doran. He's the head coach of NC State. And Alan, I was, of course, doing my research prior to Dave coming on the show, Coach Doran coming on the show earlier last night. And NC State is a sneaky team. They finished out last season pretty darn strong, and there's an argument to be made that CJ Bailey is the first or second best quarterback in the ACC. Between him and Darian Mensah, I think there is an argument to be made that those two are the best quarterbacks in this conference. And NC State, let me just throw it by you. They had a couple of tough losses, right? They lost at Notre Dame. They then lost at Pitt. Then they finished out the season with an upset win against Georgia Tech, a win against Florida State, and a win against North Carolina. Both of those wins, Florida State and UNC, were at home, but they were big momentum builders because they went into the Gasparilla Bowl where they were a favorite over Memphis by 3.5 points, and they dominated Memphis 31-7. They've got the positive momentum rolling. And look, Dave Doran, he was speaking highly of CJ Bailey. It makes sense. It's the third-year quarterback returning for his junior season. If he plays as well as Coach Doran thinks he can, I mean, there is a case to be made that NC State, I feel like we say this every couple of years, is a trendy pick to be the dark horse of the ACC.
Yeah, I gotta push back a little bit on that, because what they need to do is obviously learn how to win on the road. They were 1-4 last year on the road.
That's a great point.
And then a couple of those road losses, like at Duke, was inexplicable in my opinion. Even the loss at Pittsburgh was a game they should have won. They got to get consistent on their defense too, because when they lost, man, they were giving up like almost 50
They were giving
points.
up the two losses at Notre Dame, at Pitt. They lost against Notre Dame, who was 16th at the time, 36-7. Then against Pitt, at Pitt, they lost 53-34. They were a different team at home than they were away.
Yeah, and so that Jekyll and Hyde, you got to fix that when you're talking about being any kind of dark horse or contender in the conference or nationally. You just got to find a way to win games on the road. And in a real college schedule, you're going to have at least 1 or 2 games where you're going to have to push through and play through some adversity. You're not going to have your A game. That's perfectly fine. But again, Pittsburgh, Duke, Virginia Tech, those are games that they should have won last year, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But the Notre Dame and Florida game, we can excuse it a little bit, but you got to put up a better effort than Saturday.
Yeah, you look at their defense, too, over the last 7 years. Last year, they allowed 6 yards per play, which is tied for their worst that they've ever allowed over the last 7 years. Tied with, guess what, 2024, the year before, 6.0 average yards allowed per play. And they only had 20 sacks a year ago, which is the lowest they've had over the last 7 years. Their next lowest happened to be 2024 when they only sacked the quarterback 23 times. So they've been in a little bit of a slump defensively. How can they figure that out? I know Coach Doran was a little high on his defense because I mentioned that the defense only has 2 starters back from last year. And, he's like, we were hurt. A lot of guys have experience. I'd argue that there's more than 2 returners. Sure, fine. I get it. But like on paper, you've got 2 starters returning, which might actually be a good thing because you can get some fresh bodies in there. You can kind of revitalize it through the transfer portal and hope that you can bounce back to maybe what you were doing back in 2021, 22 timeframe.
Yeah, and again, last year, despite all that I just said, they did beat a top 10 team in Georgia Tech. So
yeah, a massive upset.
Yeah.
But guess where that game was?
It was at home. Yeah.
It
was at home. And then they had the bye week, and they got Miami, which in most cases that late in the year is a gift, and they followed that up with a 41-7 loss. So
yeah. Their schedule also does them no favors this year because they start at Virginia, which was supposed to be the Brazil game. So the schedule makers then gave them a bye week right after week 1, or that August 29th game at UVA. And so they've got the next week off. And then guess what? They play Richmond at home, at Vandy, App State, Louisville, Wake, at Stanford, Cal, Duke, Syracuse, at FSU, at UNC. There's not a single bye week in there. So good luck.
Yeah. And again, Florida State, North Carolina, Vandy, and Virginia are your, Vandy. You got to bring that back. And Stanford. Yeah. Are your away games? Those are winnable away games. Those are games where if we're doing preseason expectations, they're probably, in my opinion, favored in everyone except for Virginia and Vandy.
Yeah, I messed up. My fault. They do have a bye week in there on October 17th. They've got the additional bye. I messed up reading the schedule. That's my fault. They've got the additional bye due to playing week 0. Hand up, my fault. I missed that. But still, that first week, I never love a week 0 than a bye week. That's just me personally.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of week 0 and then the bye either. But, it's tradition of college football. It's not much we can do. And they're also probably looking at it like, dude, they're coming out and playing Richmond. No offense to our Spiders, but obviously NC State, that's not a tough game on their level of play. Right?
Yeah.
Like, it's not like they're coming out of that and playing Vandy or somebody that's a P4 school.
Yeah, 100%. So I'm excited to see how NC State kind of plays out because they've got dark horse potential written over them. Although, again, I feel like we say that like every other. It's like a groundhog. Did it see its shadow? Did you say NC State's a dark horse?
Yeah.
That's just kind of the way it was.
Yeah, and their fans also give them high expectations every year in the beginning as well.
Yeah, NC State, they're picked 5th in the ACC according to Phil Steele, but they've not won the ACC in 45 years.
In my lifetime, and I'm 40.
45 years. Last year they did win their bowl game, which snapped a pretty long streak of not winning bowl games. But maybe the arrow is pointing up. All right, that's going to do it for Fitz the Bill here live from ACC Kickoff today. We're going to have a ton of interviews that we are recording between now and 3. Then guess what? It's the Mashup Hour, a special Wednesday edition of the Mashup Hour with myself and Matt Josephs. Then Matt is live here from Charlotte from 4 until 6 with the mid-major match show. Keep it locked right here, 106.1 ESPN Richmond. We are where Richmond talks sports, live from ACC Kickoff. Thanks to our friends at Graybo's in Scott's Edition.